Good morning, everybody. Beautiful day here in New Mexico, Albuquerque. Hot air balloons everywhere, sun's coming up. It's just absolutely stunning out today. But I wanted to drop my thoughts on this insanity that's happening in this state with the Governor Grisham. For the most part, the state runs pretty good. We do have a really high crime problem here in Albuquerque and some parts of Santa Fe and other areas. But it's a very, very condensed, very tribal, very open state. Like, we have a lot of open land and most of the people are condensed around these couple major cities. Now, the problem that we're facing right now is that the governor decided to come out yesterday at like 8 in the morning and announce that she is going to declare an emergency and take it upon herself to grant herself emergency powers to suspend Second Amendment rights in the state, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. Nobody's going to follow it. The sheriff's already said that they're not going to enforce any of that because it's unconstitutional and breaks the law. It's an illegal order. Now, one, the governor should be removed immediately. She should not be in office, as she's just admitted on live video to breaking her oath of office. The whole point of taking an oath of office is to ensure that you are going to fight for the people that you represent in a legal and morally correct manner in this system, and she's not. I don't know what she put in her morning coffee thinking she was going to come out and suspend Second Amendment rights, but this is not how we do it in America. Now, there was an incident where a mother and a child were shot in a road rage incident, which actually happens a lot around here. But that in itself is a crime. The person who shot those people was committing a criminal act. So why would you come out and punish all the law-abiding citizens who are carrying firearms for someone who was illegally carrying a firearm and used it in a manner that was not correct with the law or any type of self-defense? It doesn't make any sense. The video she did, the press conference she did, showed how completely unhinged she was, in that it's not about gun safety or the safety of the people of Albuquerque. It's about a measure of control, enacting emergency powers, getting in the media, the presidential elections coming up. It's absolutely insane what she did, and she couldn't justify it to a single reporter that was asking her questions, in the fact that they said, do you understand that you are violating the Constitution of the United States of America and denying people their right? And she said, but I've given myself emergency powers so I can do whatever I want. That is a dictatorship. She should immediately be legally removed from office for breaking her oath of office and for breaking the law, which in this case, affording herself emergency powers without any reasonable event. Like, we're not under a natural disaster, we're not under a pandemic, we're not under anything else that's not been normal for Albuquerque or the state of New Mexico in the past 10 years. She granted herself emergency powers and then immediately violated her oath of her constitutional oath to uphold her office, which is very evident. She admitted that. In that, violating not only the Second Amendment, but breaking the 14th Amendment, which can be tantamount to treason. And I don't think she understands that, and I don't think citizens understand that. Now, whatever you are, left or right, center, I don't care. It doesn't matter. The Constitution is the Constitution. It is ironclad. It's been around for a couple hundred years now, and it is there specifically so tyrannical governments do not take control of your life. You, the people, are the government. These lords and so-called leaders that have been elected in ridiculous manners lately, they do not control your life. They have no right to tell you how to live your life. They can propose laws that have to be passed through Congress and voted in to be effective. Laws that can be overturned by the people at any point in time. Now, like I said, in this state, there's a lot of leftists, there's a lot of rightists, there's a lot of center, there's a lot of people who just don't care. They're out in the middle of nowhere, living their lives, just chilling. But if they start by telling you that we can suspend any right because I've granted myself emergency powers, what's going to stop them from walking in your house and saying, okay, we're commandeering your property? This is the most dangerous thing I've ever seen a governor do in any state besides Michigan, when, what's her name? The governor of Michigan, I keep wanting to say Lewinsky. It's not, it's Whitmer, Governor Whitmer, when she decided to afford herself all these emergency powers during the pandemic and force close businesses, right? And then tell people they're not allowed to congregate within 6 feet of each other. This is the worst case of boiling frog I've ever seen in my life, where citizens are doing nothing. And I guess my message today on this topic is the governor of New Mexico has illegally given herself emergency powers, has violated the Second Amendment, and is violating the 14th Amendment. Any reasonable law enforcement person would be up at the Capitol or at the governor's office, especially the sheriff, stating you are violating your oath of office, you've admitted it, get some lawyers, tell her that we are now investigating you for treasonous charges in violating the 14th Amendment and the Second Amendment and violating the Bill of Rights. I don't know how this governor is still working from her office as of today. The reason I say this is because there's a lot of governors who are involved in very shady stuff with the CCP. They're very compromised. A lot of people with the DNC have shown to be compromised. A lot of people at the RNC have shown to be compromised. But to blatantly come out and deny people their constitutional rights because you think you can give yourself emergency powers is cause for investigation in your office. It's just crazy. The local sheriff should have the attorney general and a couple other lawyers and maybe a couple state troopers and maybe some U.S. Marshals. They should be in the governor's office right now demanding open investigation and suspending her powers, as she is openly admitted to violating her oath of office. It's crazy. And for the most point, I've had no problems with any of the politicians in this state. I might not agree with their policies, but there's a difference between bad policies being enacted by the state Congress and the governor just awarding herself the role of Supreme Chancellor. I mean, it's crazy. She literally walked out and said, I am the Senate. So, if you live in New Mexico, you guys need to stand up. You need to tell her now. You tell the governor to stand down and only operate within her legal and judicial executive rights that she's afforded by the state constitution and federal law. If not, this 30-day gun ban is going to turn into, you need to wear masks. Well, now nobody can open carry. Well, now we're going to avoid all concealed carry. The Secretary of State will come out, and soon enough, you'll see them say that nobody is allowed to open or concealed carry in the state of New Mexico anymore. The only thing this is going to affect is law-abiding citizens. It's going to make it more dangerous for businesses who need to protect themselves from being robbed, which you guys know I've broken up 2 robberies here at Walgreens and CVS. These people are robbing stores in broad daylight. Not even a week ago, some kids went in and robbed Walgreens, stole liquor, got chased out of the store. Cops tried to follow them across the street, and they got hit by a car. Single mom with like 2-3 kids in her car ended up hitting him and killing him. And then the mother of the kid who was robbing the store come out and tried to defend it. Like, it's just crazy. Parents, you need to get your kids home. They don't need to be out running around in the streets. Governor, you don't have any legal right to tell anybody they cannot carry firearms in public. It's a constitutional right. I don't know how you think you're going to give yourself emergency powers randomly. That's not how it works. So, I tell the citizens, most people are just going to carry anyways, but I tell the citizens, stick up for your rights. And 3, to the sheriff of, New Mexico, Albuquerque, all the sheriffs, if you have denied the governor law enforcement action on this because it's an illegal order, then good for you, and I have a lot of respect for you. Either way, guys, this isn't just a New Mexico thing. This is countrywide. You guys have rights. They're written down. They are passed in Congress. They are passed before the federal government. The Supreme Court, they come out and they decide some pretty serious cases like abortion, which should have never went before the Supreme Court, in my opinion anyways. That's not a Supreme Court thing. But, guys, these people work for you. You elect them. You put them in. You pay them. And if you're noticing the economy's extremely bad and food's expensive and people can't afford anything, I would just tell you to be careful who you vote for. It's the economy, stupid. That's just very blatantly what it is. Housing is starting to fall off on lending. Interest rates are hitting all-time highs. Home values are overvalued 30-40%. And they're talking about pandemics and shit again the closer we get to the presidential election, in which you have people that are trying to make it so that Trump can't even be on the ballot. I mean, this is literally 1933 in Germany right now, and people don't realize it. Like I said, the boiling frog, first it's, okay, well, wear masks. Then it's, well, we're not going to let you carry firearms anymore. Then it's going to be, well, you're only allowed to have one dog in your household. Okay, don't store water anywhere. I mean, it's just one thing after another. So before everything gets out of control, left, right, center, it doesn't matter, man. Without the Constitution and our inalienable rights, we're just a banana republic. It's just what it is. If you let them take your right away to carry, they're going to take other rights. The only reason that the Constitution has lasted this long is because American citizens have the right to carry firearms. The Second Amendment is made to protect citizens of the United States of America from tyrannical governments. And again, like I said, I challenge the sheriff of the state of New Mexico, the attorney general, anybody with any legal authority to challenge the governor's decision. You guys need to do it in a legal manner by lawsuit through the state, maybe to even federal court, because what she's doing is just unheard of. It's absolutely crazy. The last time somebody's done something like this, it started with Stalin, or it started with Hitler, or it started with Mussolini. We said, oh, we just need to round up these guns. We're at wartime. We've got a problem. There's too much violent crime. The crimes are caused by bad policies that are put in place by the current government that's been elected by the state of New Mexico. If you want to start fixing crime in Albuquerque, then stop the panhandling. Go out, enforce a new law, reinstate that you cannot panhandle on corners in the state of New Mexico, and you're going to see crime rates drop significantly across the city. Panhandling on every single corner is a problem. People are leaving trash. It's increased crime in the areas where there are panhandlers, because panhandling, one, leads to people from out of state coming in state and doing whatever they want. And most of the time, the state doesn't even know they're here. Two, it creates a situation where people are begging on the corner instead of going and getting aid from the state, which this state gives more aid for free than I've ever seen in my life. But three, it leads to more robberies at storefronts, which leads to just more crime across the city. You have more events like the kid getting hit on the street over here. So it's just something you got to start small. It's give a mouse a cookie logic. If you let people panhandle, then they're going to start going in and robbing stores. They start robbing stores, they're going to start robbing liquor stores. Then they're going to start robbing cars. And the amount of guns that go missing in this state, here's the thing to everybody who owns firearms in this state. I know 3 or 4 people who have had firearms stolen out of their vehicles in apartment complexes in the last 3 years I've been here. If you own a gun legally and you leave it in your car and that gun is stolen and used on somebody else, you should be held legally responsible for the damages that causes. Anyone who leaves a firearm out in the open and has it stolen is an irresponsible firearm owner and should lose their right to concealed carry and have to go before a court and explain why they lost control of their firearm. We need laws that make unaccountability of your firearms punishable. That's what we need. That's going to help with gun theft. It's going to lower the gun theft rates. You're not going to have legally purchased firearms ending up out in the middle of nowhere with illegal use of the person who's taking it. You're just making people responsible for their own property. So in that, 2A, gun holders, legally abiding citizens, you need to make sure that you are responsible with the power you've been given and your rights. If you're not, you're part of the problem. To the people out there gaining illegal use of firearms, you're just going to end up in jail. You're stupid, for one. Two, stealing a firearm and then trying to sell it is like the dumbest thing you can possibly do. To people in Albuquerque, with all the crazy traffic and road rage stuff that we have here, we have just stupidest road rage I've ever seen. Look, you guys, turn your freaking blinker on. It's that simple. Use your blinker, wait your turn at the intersection, stop running red lights, and be productive adults in society. It's that simple. Every single day at the intersection down here on my road, somebody barrels through that red light, and there's an accident here every week. It's just stupid. You're not getting anywhere any freaking quicker. Stop running red lights, start using your turn signals, and respect each other out on the road. Stop getting into road rage fights and causing issues. It's just a fundamental breakdown of society that people think they don't have to function in society by following the regulations and laws that we have. It's crazy. And this is where the governor comes out and says she can claim emergency powers. Oh, the animals are killing themselves, so I'm just going to give myself emergency powers. So, long story short, productive citizens, law-abiding citizens do better, for one. Two, keep your freaking kids off the street. If your kid is under the age of 18 years old, there's no reason they need to be running around the streets of Albuquerque. Three, the governor, your policies are a direct byproduct of what's happening in this state. Your policies on gun control, your policies during the pandemic, your policies on being just pure tyrannical, thinking that you can afford yourself any power you want, that is why this state is having problems right now and why kids and mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters are dead on the street. Stop the panhandling, for one. Start there. Start small. Build up from bottom to top. Stop the panhandling. Enact some better policy for store owners around here who are getting robbed blind every day. There needs to be some type of alert system across the city for stores to be able to contact police much faster. The response time, because the police are overburdened here, is insanely slow. They have to deal with violent crimes before they deal with possible misdemeanors and stuff. But now we have an issue where the panhandling and the theft in these small stores like Walgreens is leading to people dying on the streets right here in my own damn neighborhood. So stop panhandling, talk with the state police, talk with the local police, and create a system with the business owners of New Mexico where they have a faster alert system that can be directly tied to some kind of response team, private security by the state, something like that, to deal with people robbing stores. And in that, you'll be able to collect data analytics to find out where most of the crime is happening, and you can get more requests for patrol in the area to knock down concentrated areas of crime. It's absolutely crazy. At the end of this, all I got to say too is, people, you need to police each other. If your friend's out doing crazy shit in Albuquerque, stealing shit, robbing cars, breaking into things because they ain't got no money, introduce them to the concept of getting a job. There are more than enough jobs around here right now. People are hiring everywhere. I know times are tough, food's expensive, but again, if you want to curb inflation and drop crime rates, stop voting for insane leftist policies that's killing small business and causing gas and food to go up. You can protect the environment by finding equilibrium with the economy and the world. You can do better. If the economy's working smooth and people can afford things properly, then they're going to be more environmentally conscious because they can be. If you force environmentalism on people and crush the economy, such as Biden is doing right now, President Biden is now canceling multiple leases in Alaska for drilling oil, saying we're going to protect wildlife reserve. But really what they're doing is they're killing American energy independence, and gas and fuel and food is going to go through the freaking roof. And if you think it's bad now, you just wait. We'll have $8 gas and we'll have $10 packs of chicken and $12 pork chops, because that's what's coming if we're not allowed to produce energy in the United States the way we need to keep fuel costs down. We have to compete on a world stage, economically smart, or we're going to destroy our own country. And you're going to end up with politicians creating radical policies and giving themselves emergency power. So, again, everybody just do better. If you own firearms, you need to keep them locked up properly, and you need to maintain them properly. If you live in the state of New Mexico and Albuquerque and Santa Fe, and you're a small business owner, you guys know what I'm talking about. Being a small business owner, not being able to carry a firearm around here could end up putting you in the grave. It's very crazy around here right now with the crime rates and the theft that we're having. You guys, the election cycle's coming up. President seems like a big deal. All that, I'm going to tell you right now, fixing your local government from the ground up is where you need to start. I'm talking school board all the way up to your state Congress is where you need to start, because when governors start awarding themselves emergency powers for no reason and violating the Constitution and admitting they're breaking their oath of office, that is the citizens' responsibility to correct that issue. Right now, local law enforcement and the Attorney General and multiple lawyers should be up at state capitol putting Governor Grisham in her place, and I hope they are. Because taking rights away from law-abiding citizens is not going to fix crime in this city. It's going to make it 10 times worse. And with the influx of people that we have moving here from out of state, from California, North Carolina, Florida, everybody's moving here because it's cheaper to live. We're going to have more and more crime because of the mix of cultures, which it's hard for people to learn how to fit in here if it's their first time. So again, take more responsibility. You guys have the vote to fix this stuff. Quit electing tyrannical governors. You've already seen her and how her party's responding to this issue. They want to take away your Second Amendment rights. It's absolutely out of control. Violation of constitutional law. And admitting that she's breaking her oath of office and she's still sitting there. Police each other, do better, make wise economic decisions when you vote. Don't vote because Facebook told you to vote left or right. If you guys are still basing your vote on crayon colors, red or blue, that's part of the problem. Take a little bit of pride in your area. Take a little bit of pride in your city. Be nice, help people out, follow basic laws. Use your blinker, signal, let people know where you're going so you don't get into road rage incidents. Your life is not worth losing over you not using your blinker. It's just that simple, guys. So either way, I just wanted to drop my thoughts this morning. This isn't a left-right political thing. It's very truthfully, very legitimately, you do not fix crime by punishing law-abiding citizens. You fix crime by punishing criminals. That's how it works. You got to have a certain moral principle to sustain social structure. And allowing people, just for very basic one, like I said before, allowing people to panhandle on the corner, it's demoralizing to the entire city. Most of the time, the people that are panhandling are just ripping people off, but it's also leading to incidents around stores where people panhandle on corners, where we're having more crime and people breaking into stores committing robberies. So that's about all I got. Hey, Spence, I guess you want to keep your gun. Oh, I'm keeping my fucking guns. You telling me I went to combat? I go to combat, served in the military, don't even have a freaking speeding ticket or nothing on my record. Go and get my concealed carry and legally buy firearms, and now she's telling me that I can't carry my firearm to protect myself in public? That is an illegal order. The governor has issued an illegal order, and it violates my Second Amendment rights. RWK88, what's up, bro? What's up, Froggy? I'm from Texas. We can relate. I don't know how we keep letting our governor, Greg Abbott, in office and all this horrible stuff he's done. I'm not really sure what Greg Abbott has done to the state. I'll have to go back and look. I haven't been really keeping up. Texas as a state, usually pretty just chill, man. I used to live there. I love Texas, so easy. Good morning, everyone. Well, anyways, that's my thoughts, guys. Just wanted to drop my opinion. You guys will probably start to hear me get a little more political as we get into the elections because it does affect the economy greatly. It looks like housing's in for a big drop here pretty soon. Housing values are going to fall off in certain regions. Commercial real estate's going to take a dump. Home lenders, mortgage lenders are starting to lay people off, and the demand for home loans is going down significantly. So I'm prepped to buy at the bottom of the market. I'm obviously not voting Democrat this year unless, say, like the chick from Hawaii. I forgot her name. Hold on. I can't remember her name right now. You guys know what I'm talking about. The pretty lady who ran for president a couple years back. She's awesome. Her policies are pretty good. The Democrat Party kind of booted her out because she was more center than left. She's National Guard. Tulsi Gabbard. Brain fart. Tulsi Gabbard. If she ran, maybe I'd vote for her. Possibly very much I would vote for her. But right now, I don't see anybody on the Democrat side to even want to vote for. Honestly, the Rhino side, DeSantis, he's making a fool out of himself. And now Nikki Haley's talking about running. Look, Trump is the candidate for the Republican side. And honestly, here's the problem. If the Republicans don't appoint him and he runs independent, he's going to split the vote, and then Biden could very potentially win again. And that would be a disaster. If Biden stays in office, you are going to see the worst economy we've had in over 40 years. It's going to be a disaster. I don't care who's in office, as long as Sleepy Joe Biden is not in office again. That guy is a absolute just disaster. I mean, monkey effing a football. So hopefully we get some better candidates on stage. Hopefully the rhinos just say, hey, Trump's got it. I mean, everybody already knows that. If he just keeps his nose clean and doesn't say anything crazy, he's already got the nomination. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm going to follow it all for the economy. That's my main goal right now, is the economy. Trying to get things back under control, inflation back under control, so people stop acting crazy. And so all these hardworking moms and dads out here can actually afford to get groceries without blowing their whole paycheck up. It's pretty depressing. So Tulsi Gabbard, yep. I could get behind RFK Jr. instead of Biden. Yeah, I could. I'm 62 and this economy is the worst I've seen in my adult life. Bull run 62. You know, people tell me I'm only 38. They're like, well, you haven't been around long enough. I'm like, I've been around long enough and been watching very long. I remember how poor my parents were. And I'm telling you right now, you know, it looks like everybody's doing good. But the problem is everybody's racking up credit. They're racking up debt. And when that implodes, people are going to lose homes. People are going to lose their families. People are going to lose their job. It's crazy right now. So I totally agree with you, Bull Run. And Red Bull, yeah, you know, if RFK Jr. ran, I could probably get behind that on the Democrat side too. So like I said, it's not left or right for me. It's purely economic and constitutional rights. The constitutional rights first, the economy second, and then personal politics third. I would rather pick the pilot that I hate, that I know is more experienced, the most experienced pilot, even though I hate him. I'd rather pick him to fly my plane than someone I like that hasn't flown a day in their life. So either way, I've cleared all my debt. Good for you, man. I just added a little bit of debt because I had to put a new air conditioning unit on my house, which kind of sucks, but I'll have that paid off before the 12 months is up. So, and then I'm going to start, besides just doing my plays, I'm going to start kicking back. It's cool here. I'm going to start hiking more, getting outdoors more, doing more fun stuff and spending less money, you know, at the bars and stuff like that. So either way, good morning, guys. Cheers. And I'm going to kick off. I just wanted to drop my thoughts on that and see what you guys thought. Please like the video, share it. This is going to be very important in the next 12 months. We're going to see serious economic turns, and we're going to see very serious political turns. I think this is probably one of the most important elections I've ever seen in my life. So good luck to everybody. You vote for who you want to vote for. Don't feel scared to come in and drop your opinion on your political preferences. I'm not going to attack you on that. I'm just going to debate with you, and we'll have a good time trying to set a new standard going to this next election. So cheers, everybody. Have a good one.